All right. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Marvin Gibson from TMI. Most of you recognize me. Today, I am in North Eleuthera. You can see the background. I'm actually at the North Eleuthera Airport. And today, we're going to be having a conversation with none other than the F&M candidate for North Eleuthera, the Honorable Ricky Mackey, who has been a member of parliament, who has sat in the House of Assembly before, who has represented this area. We're going to talk to him, and really, this is going to be his interview where he says some things to us about his concerns in relation to the airport, as well as his concerns in relation to what's going on with North Eleuthera. He's going to tell us what's happening, and I want you to listen in and tune in. For those of you who are going to be joining us, I want you to feel free to um, share the link, share the live, and let others know that TMI is now live. All right? And so I want you to hear from him. It's not me. Don't pay attention to me. Pay attention to Mr. Markey. Now, Mr. Markey, I feel a little spry going on because so I don't want you to get wet. All right. So, and in a very, I do want to share the link. So I'm going to ask all those persons who are on the live to share the live for me, please. Share the live. We're going to be talking with Mr. Ricky Mackey of North Eleuthera, the F&M candidate who is running in the 2026 general elections. And so he's going to express his concern to us and share himself. And so if you can't, I need you to let me know that you can hear me. I need you to let me know that you are prepared to, that you can, and I want you to also, share the link. Share the link, let others know. What I'm going to do very quickly is share the link inside the WhatsApp group very quickly. And I want you to share the link and let persons know that TMI is now live on this Friday afternoon. We are doing this. And it's TMI live with Ricky Mackey. All right. Just give us a second as we get into this. For those of you who have been paying attention to TMI lately, you all know a lot of stuff has been going on. Also we had a recent passing of the Member of Parliament for Golden Isles, Mr. Vaughan Miller. We got word today confirming that Mr. Vaughan Miller's funeral is going to be in on the 27th. That's Friday the 27th of October. And so I know that that's going to be a major event for us. Of course, I know persons also would have been paying attention to the ongoings of the House of Assembly, the battle between the government and the workers, particularly the president of the Teachers Union, Ms. Belinda Wilson, and Mr. Kimsley Ferguson and others. And so we know you know what's going on. And of course, tomorrow night when we go on our TMI live show, we are going to be talking about a lot of this stuff. And then we have some other updates that we want to give you tomorrow night. So you can't get that night. This evening, you're going to be hearing from Mr. Ricky Mackey, the F&M prospective candidate for North Eleuthera. TMI is apolitical. We try to share what everybody has to say, and we try to get all messages across. And of course, Mr. Mackey is one of those persons we want to listen to. He has been an excellent member of parliament. Persons love on him. He has good support within his party. He has good support with the party leadership. And he's going to talk to us all about that and tell us what he plans to do to make a difference and to get North Eleuthera to where it needs to be. We are sharing the link. As you join the live, share the live. Let me know that you can hear me. Let me know that you can hear what I'm saying. And when Mr. Mackey speaks, let me know that you can hear him as well, because we want to make sure that this interview is clear and concise. But this evening, of course, one of our focuses will be the North Eleuthera Airport, where I am standing. You can see me standing in front of it. And of course, if you look in the back of me, you can see Mr. Mackey seated there on the step waiting for his opportunity to speak. But I want to share this link, and then we're going to turn the camera over to Mr. Mackey, and I want you to hear from him. All right? And so, and Mr. Mackey, I personally want to thank you for giving us this opportunity to interview you. And so, just bear with us. Let me get this link out let me get this camera on you. All right. So, Mr. Mackey, say good evening to the audience.
Good afternoon, TMI family.
Hold on. Let me make sure their mic is on. Let me make sure. I got to make sure that. Oh, all right. And yeah, tell them, say it again. Let me make sure.
Good afternoon, Mr. Gibson, and all of those persons watching via TMI.
Thank you very much. Mr. Markey, we are here now to hear from you.
Well, Mr. Gibson, just yesterday, Karen on Eyewitness News, the Deputy Prime Minister and the Minister of Tourism and Aviation announced that funds that were initially earmarked for North Eleuthera is now being reallocated to Freeport. While we are a brother's keeper, and I understand that.
Hold on. I think they're saying we need to make sure they can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
While we try to be a brother's keeper, the development of this airport, North Eleuthera, has been something that the question is, I know the question is going to arise. Well, you served from 2017 to 2021. Why didn't you guys get done? Well, we made every attempt to get it done. When we did start, which was late into our term, because you would remember in 2018 we were hit with Dorian, and then a year later we were hit with COVID, and so those were major catastrophes that this country had to face. And so while we may have had it on our agenda to perform, we were delayed as a result of these two major catastrophes. But we also was faced with the fact that the required land for the expansion of this airport is on what is known as commonage land. And we had met with the Commonage Committee on several occasions, myself along with the then Minister, Mr. Denisio Diagla, with the view of having an agreement or an arrangement so that we could have moved forward with the expansion of this airport. At the time, those conditions were not amicable and did not allow us at the time, despite the fact that we met with them on numerous occasions, to move forward. We were then, the Communist Committee was threatening us and suing us for some $26 million that they felt that they was owed to them in back pay, and what would have been what they perceived to be the commercial value of the additional land that was being required for the expansion. And after we got nowhere with that conversation, we then resolved to, which was something that we didn't want to do, to acquire the land by acquisition in the interests of the people of North Eleuthera. And in fact, that is public knowledge. The current administration has already indicated that the land has been acquired and they can now move forward. We met with them, the Communist Committee, and we said to them, listen, we don't have $26 million to give to you, whether or not if it's owed or not. We've been through some major problems in the country, but the need for this airport is paramount. We said in lieu of that, we were prepared to develop subdivisions on communist land, which is an extremely difficult thing to do. We were prepared to put in water, roads, lights, and at a designated time, we were prepared to sign off on these issues. And so I was even surprised to hear a current executive of the Communist Committee saying that the government is not living up to its responsibility. They were going to put in roads, they were going to put in water, they were going to put in light. But they never agreed to that when we made that proposal forward. And so I was pleased to know that the current administration was moving forward with the development of the North Eleuthera Airport, which is badly needed. There's no one I would venture to say in North Eleuthera is against the development of this airport. And to our surprise, when that statement was made by the Deputy Prime Minister saying that the money is being reallocated to go to Freeport, I was inundated with calls trying to figure out what is going on. Because it was in September 24th, if memory serves me correctly, of 2014, that there was a major celebration that took place right out here,
Mhm.
with great fanfare,
Yeah.
with champagne and wine and whatever. And
Yes.
I'm quite certain to the tunes of thousands of dollars,
Mhm.
in celebration that the Saudis were going to be lending
Mhm.
the government of the Bahamas $55 million for the purpose of expanding this airport in
Yes.
North Eleuthera.
I remember they celebrated the loan.
The $55 million loan, and everybody was excited because we were going to eventually get an airport into North Eleuthera.
Mhm.
Now to hear that the money is being reallocated to go to Grand Bahama.
Okay.
Now, some are going to say, well, we understand the government has entered into some agreement with someone else, because the deputy prime minister did say the
Yes.
money is going to be sourced elsewhere.
Mhm.
However, we have gone from a $55 million airport to what is now being said,
Mhm.
and if I'm wrong, I'm quoting them,
Uh-huh.
to $40 million,
Mhm.
which is a major reduction in the cost of this airport.
Okay.
Some would also say, well, the land is being cleared now. Well, we live in the Bahamas. It's not the first time we've seen land cleared and people talking about they're going to do this, they're going to do that.
Well, we had that with the clinic
And we've
and the
seen it.
civil
We've
administration.
seen that
Yeah.
over and over.
Mhm.
But there's no clarity as to these new people as to what they're going to do.
Mhm.
There's been no senior minister or the prime minister up here to meet and to explain to the people of North Eleuthera what is going to happen. Every day I'm asked, Ricky, you think they're going to go ahead and build this airport, or it's just a photo op? Because many of you know that this administration is known for their many photo ops. So while we want the airport to move forward, we have questions about these people who are now here to do this airport. And I'm also hearing that there's a lease for 50 years. A 50-year lease is being granted to these individuals who are trying to do this airport.
Because what I saw, and I did a little bit of research on it. Um, I saw, and so I have to ask you about that, because I heard you mention about the other funding, that the alternative funding that the government is speaking to, and I noticed they originally, because I think they, well, first of all, I think the story needs to get right, because I understand they were talking to an agency, an institution called the International Airport Development corporation or company, something like that, because when they spoke about funding for this airport, because you had a challenge um, after they made the agreement in September of last year, on September 9th. Then in March of this year, the deputy prime minister came forward. I don't know if he was laying the groundwork for what is happening now, but he came forward and he said, yeah, the Saudis were operating or moving too slow. The funding was coming too slow. That's actually written news.
Exactly.
So I don't know. Now
And
maybe.
not only did he say it was moving too slow,
Mhm.
it was too cumbersome to access.
Yes, he said all that.
No,
He said too much bureaucracy.
Marvin. This is the modern day.
Yes, sir.
And no one would question the wealth and the capacity of the
Of the Saudis,
Saudis
no, sir.
to
No,
to to to, to dispense cash.
no.
Well, I guess they're not going to have that problem when they
Move to free.
relocate it to Freeport.
Yes.
But they're having that issue here. How are we? In fact, that statement only came after a interview that was done, a demonstration was done in
Yes.
which you yourself
Yes.
interviewed
Yes. It was
right
the
here at
enough
that
is
site.
enough. It's the enough is enough demonstration.
Exactly.
Yes.
That was done on a Saturday, and then the deputy prime minister came up with
I
a
recall
statement
that.
the following Thursday.
Yes.
So had there not been a demonstration, that information, I suspect, would not have come out.
Mhm.
Listen, like I said before, we want this airport, but there are too many questions that are unanswered. How come no senior person of the government? Yes, in fact, they had a meeting last night with the current and previous members of the local government, and some representatives of various companies, but nobody has come and said, this is the contract, this is what is being paid, this is what is being expected of the government or expected of the people. And I was told by someone who attended that meeting, a representative of this company is saying, now you guys better train because we don't want to have to bring our people in. Can you imagine that? They're already telling you they don't want to have to bring their people in. And why? Why at this stage in our country, as a people, we've got to always be bringing in foreigners to tell us how to run our country?
That's a good question. But why do you think that is?
Because we don't have faith in our own. And the unfortunate thing that a lot of times when foreigners are brought in this country to do certain jobs, it is so laughable that some of the very individual people who are working on those jobs have to train the people that they bring in.
You have a challenge in North Eleuthera where you have a lot of foreigners who are working jobs in North Eleuthera. This, if the new airport project comes and this is the ground that they're starting on, we're already starting with a problem. But there are some persons who might try to justify that these persons are needed with their expertise or whatever the case may be. What say you in regard to that?
Baloney. Bull. We've got persons that are trained, that run this airport now, and they do it efficiently. And I believe if given the opportunity, they would continue to run it efficiently. The only complaints we get out of this airport is that the size of the structure and its inability to house and shelter our guests. Our custom officers are efficient and courteous. Staff for the various airlines do the same, and the persons with airport authority, they've been well trained, and they would be the same persons who are working. So explain to me why we have to bring in foreigners. We are a 50-some-year-old nation. When are we going to be given the opportunity to walk for ourselves, to think for ourselves? I don't subscribe to the philosophy that foreigners can do better, or we need foreigners to tell us or to lead us or to show us. Yes, there's a need for funding, and I don't mind partnering with them with funding, providing the necessary funding for these projects. But I don't think we need them for the management and running of an airport. Look at NAD. NAD is rated one of the best airports in the Caribbean. They don't have it. The only thing we did with the foreigners is their funding.
Yes, okay.
And that's all we need to do here in North Eleuthera. And I really don't know why are we borrowing, because if I recall correctly, the government of the Bahamas, early in the administration, went out and said they secured $1 billion. And all they do is draw down for the development of these airports. So where's all this money going?
It's and while we're talking about them saying that, don't forget, because in my mind, I read several articles this morning just to update myself on this subject, because I was sort of concerned about the funding. I remember when the IDB, when the Saudi funding fell through, or a number of questions were raised. Now, of course, we have, and then we heard about the IADC, the International Airport Development Company. And then when I looked again, I saw where they're saying that, and this was with the Deputy Prime Minister saying to justify his switching the funding to the Saudis' funding to Grand Bahama. He said that the IDB is now funding the renovation of this airport as well as airports in Exuma. So, who is the funding coming from? What is the facts? As far as you're aware, what is the facts on this matter? I have to ask you. You're the political expert here.
Well, that is what I'm trying to ascertain myself, because there's so much conflicting stories. First, you had the $1 billion that was set aside for the development of Family Island airports.
Mhm.
And they were supposed to draw them down in tandem or as needed.
Mhm.
If we had access to this $1 billion, and this airport only costs $55 million, and Exuma, I don't know what Exuma costs, and all of the other airports, but I can guarantee you we're not looking at over $1 billion. So we don't have access to that drawdown. Now we're still borrowing money from the Saudis. Now we're bringing in these people into North Duluth who's supposed to be some type of PPP. So they must be bringing in money. And to give them a 50-year lease, what has the question? 50 years?
So we're trying to figure out what exactly is the quid pro quo
Exactly.
going on.
And
there,
mind you, Marvin, if the government was transparent and
Mhm.
they would come, meet with the residents of North Duluth, explain it, there may be no malfeasance.
Yes.
But they need to explain it because absent from being told the facts, one is now
Have to
going
draw
to
their own conclusions.
exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing here. And mind you, this airport is needed. This airport has been badly needed for decades.
Yes.
And we're not trying to get in the way, but we want clarity because I don't want my grandchildren or great-grandchildren tied to having to pay for something that nobody knows the answers to. When you've had $1 billion here, the Saudis there with their money, this one there with their money, that one there with their money, and that's what people are saying today. Why is this administration borrowing with no clear explanation or no clear results of what is being done? And then when you turn around, you see projects all over this Bahamas closing down because the bills are not being paid, closing down or slowed down or stopped, and not by a new administration because you know they like to say stop, review, and cancel. These things are being stopped as we speak. And then you have issues where you're borrowing money to do the hospital, you're borrowing money to do this, and then we're being told that some of these projects can't start because the persons who are lending the monies now are holding back and say, only when we see this, you're going to access this. And I believe that may have been part and parcel of the situation why we couldn't access the Saudi money. And at least the Saudi money was a clear loan, not something where we are leasing land. And then there are persons who ask me today, say, Ricky, is it legal for the government to acquire the land and then turn around and lease it to foreigners? Because remember now, this is community land.
Yes.
I don't know the answer to that legally, but that's a question that's been put to me.
If something like that happens, wouldn't it have to go through an act of parliament for them to lease the land, or because they may do it in, I guess, in cabinet, but my question then would be, do you think, and I know you said this is a question that you have to find out the answer to, because I'm curious about that as well. Can they turn around and lease land that they have acquired from the commonage to do what they're doing?
And land that they've not paid the persons
for 20.
Well, I'm not going into the big the big 26 million.
Yes.
I'm talking about the persons who now they've already acquired the land from. Because you don't tell them we got to take this land.
Yes.
We're gonna compensate you. You know, I'm not talking about the communists. I'm talking about the persons who on the land, whose buildings or structures you now have to remove to accommodate the expansion.
So they are removing some structures.
There are some structures. In fact, the area where the terminal building is supposed to be going, there's several structures in the area.
Okay. And has the government made arrangements with these persons?
Well, I can only tell you what one person said to me. They said, Ricky, they cleared all around my building, but nobody said nothing to me yet.
Wow.
That's one of the buildings right up there.
Can you let me see?
You can't see it from here because
okay.
it's around that bend. When you go up there, there's several structures that have been there some time ago. Now you've got one or two persons who've been trying to cash in and now trying to acquire land now because they know the government is coming in.
Yes.
But we're talking about properties or structures that preceded 2015. You see, the expansion of this airport has been the attempt to do it has been many, many years. In fact, it was, to her credit, the Honorable Minister Glenys Anna Martin was here in 2015, and they staked out the required land for the expansion.
Okay.
Now, anybody who went on the land after 2015, I don't believe the government should have to compensate.
Okay.
But those persons that
were
were
there
prior
prior
to 2015, they should be compensated.
Mhm.
And I know that was our plan.
Okay.
Okay? But that is what we had to deal with. And Marvin, like I said, we need this airport. We want this airport. But come, inform us. Not a select few. And you had no lesser person than the Prime Minister here popping champagne and in 2014.
Yes.
Now
2024.
we see, I'm sorry, 2024,
yes,
September 2024. And now you see some land clearing as if to make us comfortable that you're going to do something.
Fences going
but
up,
nobody,
all that other stuff.
but nobody else saying that the fences haven't even gone up yet.
Yeah.
These fences that you see down here was done by White Crown.
So that extension all the way, because I noticed they fences have gone all the way up the road.
White Crown.
All of that fencing is White Crown?
Was done by the generosity of White Crown.
Wow. So that new fencing
was done by the generosity.
Because I know this area. I used to travel up here every day.
Absolutely.
So when I saw the new fencing, I thought, oh, the renovation has started.
White Crown.
Wow.
And the reason why some people feel that it's a photo op is because they enclose the porch. And they enclose the shed area.
I wanted to show that. Can we walk over there and talk at the same time? Because I wanted to show that. Because I noticed that some things have taken place. And in talking about funding, I'm curious as to where the funding came from for that.
That was done by Winter Residents.
Winter Residents did the enclosing of the airport.
And that's where the funding came for that.
For the enclosure?
For that.
Okay.
And the structure.
Wow.
I can't speak of the porch.
Okay.
But that was done. And that was done to accommodate and make things more palatable to visiting guests.
Okay. All right. So we don't know where the funding came from, because I'm looking at, I noticed the police station is actually on the inside of the building now.
Yes.
But we don't know where the funding came from for that. We don't know if that's we know it's not the Saudis' money, because they
No, it was not the Saudis' money. I do believe the government had something to do with that.
Is it possibly local government?
No, because I understand the Minister of Works was somewhat involved with doing it, because there was a controversy with reference to it when it was being done. Persons in the area wanted to know why persons from South Eleuthera was actually redoing the shingling and enclosing the
wow. Porch. So the contract didn't even go to somebody from North?
No.
Oh, wow.
Nor is the contract for the clearing of the land. Now, there's some people from North Eleuthera who's now benefiting, who's doing some of the work. But the actual contract was given to a gentleman out of Tarpon Bay.
Let me ask you this, because when I did my reading, as a matter of fact, with respect to the airport, including the bit about the IDB and their funding, I noticed that the government kept, the article kept talking about Sylvanus Petty and his, the current MP and his work with this. Now, the current MP has already made up in his mind that he wasn't running, and now he's running again. And now that he's running again, all of a sudden there's this, because he was one of those persons who promoted the need for the airport to be done. As a matter of fact, I believe he was somehow in the background of the Enough is Enough campaign.
He was.
All right, and so he supported, because he too, just like you, you may share different ideals and philosophies, but you both have the same desire for the best to come out of South Eleuthera, out of North Eleuthera with this airport. Now that some stuff is happening, do you think that stuff is happening because they knew that they were going to try to bring him back and let him run again?
Absolutely.
Because, people consider you a powerhouse down here.
Well, I think I've done well in representing North Eleuthera. I've done very well. If you look at it, and I'll just list the many accomplishments.
List some of them, possibly.
And in 2018, a project that was proposed from as far back as 2010, which was the reverse osmosis treatment
Mm-hmm.
to get fresh water for North Eleuthera.
Mm-hmm.
It initially had been done under the Ingram administration in 2010. It was discussed,
Mm-hmm.
but they didn't complete it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the entire 5 years of the Christie administration, nothing was done with regard to it.
Mm-hmm.
But in 2018, we were able to get fresh water.
Okay.
That's when the reverse osmosis system was set up in North Eleuthera
Okay.
and was doing quite well.
Mm-hmm.
Now, mind you, those systems are very labor intense,
Okay.
or require constant maintenance
Okay.
in order for them to be efficient. And I know during my tenure, we had little issues,
Okay.
none to where it is today. So in 2018, we got fresh water. That would have been for the entire North Eleuthera. That's Harbor Island, the mainland, and Spanish Wells.
Okay.
Another accomplishment done in Harbor Island was the road work. We had roads done in Harbor Island.
Okay.
Many of you are aware that we had COVID. But no, let's start first with Dorian.
Yes.
Dorian that we had.
Yeah.
And
so I know,
and we were very involved with that. In fact, North Eleuthera was very involved with that because some of the first persons in Abaco to assist in the rescue efforts were North Eleuthera people. We had persons out of Spanish Wells who took their smack boats inside there to rescue people and to carry supplies. Then we had the go fast boats out of Harbor Island that also went into Abaco. We had set up a triage at the dock at Three Island, where we had the doctor and the nurses. And when these boats came in, the go fast boats came in, persons were then taken off the boat, examined, and made sure they were all well. This very building over here, we were able to get the use of it from Mr. Gregory Stewart,
okay,
who owned it. And what we did was we outfitted that building with clothing supplies to give to the victims of Dorian, as well as food. So they were brought in, they were examined, they were brought here, they got food and clothing. In addition to that, same gentleman who you just saw hail me, Quincy, from the Bahamas Daybreak, we were able to acquire his boat twice to carry victims from out of the current to Nassau.
Wow.
And that's how much involved that we were in North Eleuthera. And so while we are our brother's keeper in some regards, but we need to take care of North Eleuthera now with regard to this airport.
Yes.
But other things that we were able to accomplish. In 2015, the then Deputy Prime Minister, Brave Davis, came to Harbor Island and replaced the generators in Harbor Island with a system that at the time I attended I attended when they commissioned the new generators.
This is at BPL.
At BPL, and his words were that he was told that these are the perfect generators or the perfect system for Harbor Island, and we should not have any problems. I was there.
Okay.
2018, we had to replace them.
Wow.
Just about all except one. They had blown the blocks. And other persons are saying they were the wrong type of generators because they were Volvo high revolutionary generators when they should have been slow turning generators for consistency and for power.
Okay.
So I was involved when Tom Hanna's barge came up and brought the first set of generators to replace the generators that was put there. So these are some of the things I've done. So I laugh and I marvel when people say, well, Ricky didn't do nothing. Ricky was responsible for roads work, through the assistance of the government, road work in Harbor Island, road work on mainland North Eleuthera, road work in Spanish Wells, water on the mainland in Spanish Wells, water in Harbor Island, okay? And assisting with electricity for Harbor Island. Fortunately for us, Spanish Wells have their own electrical operation, and they do quite well.
Yes.
They do extremely well. And I think it'll be good if we could model ourselves
Because
after Spanish Wells.
Harbor Island is desirous of setting up their own
Hmm.
electrical plant.
Yes, and so
And is that possible? Is that possible under an F&M administration with Ricky Mackey as the representative for North Eleuthera?
I can't say that that is possible or impossible at this time.
Mm-hmm.
What I can say, I will ensure that we will have better, much better than what we have.
Because you've been having you've been having some real challenges in terms of electricity. Oh Lord, it's been torture.
Marvin, persons, you know what Marvin speak when persons say these are legacy problems.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they may be legacy problems. They've been problems that we've been faced for quite a long time, but not to the level that we are being faced to today. Because every Jesus day, water's off, light is off. Yes. You live it.
Yes.
And that's why I simply marvel when I hear the minister, Joe Beth, talking about all of these cutting edge stuff that they're doing with BPL and all of these things that are going to make life so much better for us.
You cannot knock her too hard because she did say cutting. She might have been cutting off stuff. I don't know, but you can't knock her too hard.
Just this morning, when this airport was opening, the power was off.
Wow.
The power was off 6 hours yesterday. How do you explain in this day and age that the power and the water is off
every day,
every Jesus day,
every day?
There's no excuse for
we
that.
don't go a week without. We haven't gone a week without power outage in a long time.
And there's no excuse for it. We've got to do better, and I know our administration will do better because we've done these things before. Okay, and then when you look, we were able in Gregory Town. Our kids the kids in the primary school was meeting in a small burial society building.
Yes.
Our administration had promised that we were going to build a school. This was when we first started to campaign.
Okay.
But as you are aware, because of the two major problems we had, we didn't have the necessary funding to do that.
Okay.
But when the people of Gregory Town say, Mr. Mackey, we're going back to our old school.
Yes.
That was in bad condition. In fact, it was a condemned building.
Okay.
So I said, well, that's what we got to do. That's what we got to do. And so we got together. And I joined in with the parents of Gregory Town. We provided windows, we provided doors, we provided AC units, we redid the roof, we put up new fencing, all of which to accommodate that. And now the students, for the past several years, are in their school. That is just one of the things we did.
A number of things.
In bulk.
I'm gonna let you go at the bulk point. Then I want to ask one.
We put in a nice, beautiful park, which was the first step of what we wanted to do, a multi-purpose sport complex. That at the end of the day, it would have tennis court, swimming pool, softball field, and volleyball, and a building that would have plumbing facilities, bathrooms, and a kitchen, and a sitting area where parents could just watch their kids playing on the playground equipment. Okay. That is one of the things that we did for ball. You go to Bluff. If you get an opportunity, go there and look at that clinic.
Yes.
Some people, it's a beautiful building. In fact, when the minister came and opened it, he bragged about the great craftsmanship and the beauty of that building. And I was the catalyst of seeing that clinic done. And mind you, I received $95,000 in donations. And so when I speak of it, people try to discredit and say, oh, he's taking claim for it.
No.
I gave those individuals the credit that they deserve and their donations. But you go and look at that building and tell me that you could build that building for $100,000.
Wow. Wow.
You go. And anybody who knows construction, they will know the true value of that clinic. And that was a major accomplishment that we were able to get done in our 4.5 years. Go to Spanish Wells. We did road work there too. We did seawall work there too. And many would remember the collapsing of the Russell Island Bridge.
Yes, I remember that.
And within 6 to 7 weeks, we had that bridge replaced.
Okay.
And one of the crowning moments that I feel personally, is when the now leader of the FNM, Michael Pintard, and I worked feverishly in developing legislation to deal with the Dominican poachers in our country. We were able to curb that scourge of Dominican fishermen in this country. And now they are back. They are back. But we got rid of them before. We will get rid of them again. And we're anticipating within the next 10 days, the leader will be coming here to meet with the fishermen in Spanish Wells, find out their concerns, give their recommendations, but more certainly than that, give our assurances that we will clear our waters again. So I can hold my head up high, because there's a lot of things that I was able to accomplish in the 4.5 years, while in addition to that, if you were to speak with all of the government officers, they will tell you that I was a friend. If it was the police, whatever shortages they need, whatever assistance they need, I was there for them. Talk to the healthcare professionals. One of the greatest testimonies I have is that the administrator for the health facilities here has publicly and on numerous occasions stated that working with me has been the best experience he's had with any member of parliament.
Wow.
So my record speaks for myself. I come back to help, not to receive, not looking for anything. I've worked hard all my life. I'm at a level of comfortability, but I can't be comfortable when there's so much needs and there's such a great demand for our constituency. We have to fix the electricity problem that we have here in North Eleuthera. It's too unfortunate. We have to fix the water situation in North Eleuthera. We can't remain one of the leading tourist destinations when persons come here and they go into the private homes and they turn on the shower and there's no water. Yeah. Or they walk in the building and flick the switch and there's no electricity. And then even the internet is affected because of these very same things. We want to raise the level or the quality of services that is being provided. We demand it. And that's what this is about.
You mentioned, and I noticed you talked about how the services and the assistance that you guys rendered to victims of Hurricane Dorian. And you also spoke about the COVID pandemic, which should have really, and I'm sure not should have, but really impeded the amount of work that you could have done. And in spite of these challenges, you still did a whole lot.
Absolutely.
Despite the crisis, because the country was, all of us have to admit that the country was in quite a difficult place.
Absolutely.
At the time when COVID came, at the time when Hurricane Dorian came. And so that really crippled much of the work that the Free National Movement could have done as the government at that time. But in spite of all that, you've listed a number of accomplishments that I believe, anybody listening to this broadcast would feel happy to commend you for. Under your leadership, along with your team, and I'm sure persons who worked with you, including you mentioned having persons who contributed to make sure that these things happen.
Yes.
Now, earlier we spoke about stop reviewing cancer. The airport is under construction. Well, they look like they're trying to do some work. Do you think they're going to get started with this work?
No. I hope to God that I am wrong, because we need it. I don't see it going forward because there's no clarity. And people are tired of being duped, or people are tired of you telling them this is going to happen and that is going to happen, but then they don't get to see it happen.
Okay.
You know, and that's the issue. I would be ecstatic if they were to move forward and complete this airport. It's not about whether this one did it or the next one did it. What it is about is providing the services that makes our community better. That's what this is about.
If the project gets started, would you be one of the proponents fighting for the continuation of that project?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. We will do nothing to stop this. But mind you, our concern is whether or not if they are genuinely moving forward with this project.
Yeah.
Nobody, no senior government official has addressed this issue.
Okay.
None of them have been here like when they came with the Saudis and had the big fanfare.
The fanfare, yeah.
Nobody's been here.
Okay.
Nobody seems to know with clarity the lease, the terms and conditions of the lease, what is all that's going to be involved. And in addition to that, the contract dropped from 55 to 40. And anybody who knows construction, a major reduction, and that means there must be new plans drawn, adjustments.
Because you all have plans. You all have plans that were seen.
The plans that were out and that were seen equated to the $55 million project. Okay. But now you've taken off $15 million off that now. So there has to be revisions. So to me, while they may intend to do it, if they believe going forward, but right now, this is a show.
Okay.
And I hope to God I'm wrong. And some of the other things that we were able to get done, in the Lowbug Association we needed a fire truck for the mainland. They raised a certain amount of money. We matched that, and we were able to get a fire truck for North Eleuthera. Okay. And this is the type of partnerships we have, and this is why I can speak to the many things that we were able to accomplish. In addition to that, during COVID, and I must give Dr. Minnis credit for allowing us to maneuver and do what we did in terms of being able to assist two groupings or two foundations, the Food Bank and Bryland Aid. It was through him allowing certain things to happen, or getting us to facilitate certain things, that we were able to get Bryland Aid, which initially started as a work program to keep persons working when the entire island was closed down, and then it switched over and started to provide food. Okay. But then there was the Food Bank from the get-go that gave out tens of thousands of dollars worth of food every Friday. And we had to get clearance to be able to do all of these things. And that's why I want to publicly thank Dr. Minnis. But we were able to get these done because we worked as a team. And we will get more stuff done moving forward.
You are now vying for the as the candidate. You're already confirmed as the Free National Movement standard bearer for the 2026 general election. You're running up against some very interesting opponents. I know Natasha Mitchell, who is representing the COI, very good friend of mine. I know Sylvanus Perry, very good friend of mine. And so it's going to be, and of course, you are a great friend of mine. So it is going to be interesting to see. And I know all of you are people who do have good desires for what you want to see happen. It is going to be interesting to see how this races up. And then, of course, I understand the DNA is now coming on stream, and they may be sending a candidate. How do you think the Free National Movement, under the leadership of Michael Pintard, with representation like Mr. Ricky Mackey, will fare in an upcoming general election?
Well, I do believe, with any uncertainty, that I will be successful. Bear in mind, last election, was the lowest turnout in modern history.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
My largest constituents, which is Spanish Wells, over 500 of them stayed home.
Wow.
And purposefully, because of a certain reason.
They were
which I
disgruntled.
wish that.
No,
Yeah,
I won't put,
yeah.
I won't put that, but they were disgruntled.
Right.
And you have communicated with them.
Listen, they have seen what has happened with this administration. They are taxing people to death. And they're being hurt. Spanish Wells is the largest fishing area in the Bahamas. They're being killed with the Dominicans. We had corrected that problem. We had arrested it. It's back. I every day I see my good friend Chuck Pinder sounding the alarm about it and saying that nobody's talking to the issue of Dominican fishermen and how they're plundering our waters. And that is a problem for them. Then there's my good friend Lil Woody, who called me about 5 months ago, almost in tears, saying that 40 boats, he's a pilot. He guides boats in from Round Devil's Backbone into Harbor Island. That in 1 week, 40 boats told him, the captain of 40 boats told them that they were not coming back because of these outrageous fees that the government is now charging. The yachting associations are telling you that yachting in the Bahamas is down 40%. We will correct that. We will fix that. Okay?
So you have seen the drop in tourism. You've seen the drop in boaters.
We felt it.
Yeah.
We've seen it.
Private pilots as well. I understand some of them are complaining as well.
Exactly. So all of these things are hurting Bahamians. You know, I personally had to wait almost 3 months to get a license for a project I just did. Over 3 months. You know, you need to be able to navigate in getting your business, getting a business started up quickly. You can't wait. If you funded that through some lending source and then 3 months before you could start, foreclosure sets in before you open your doors. So what I want to see happen, or what I commit myself to do, is to rid ourselves of these problems, to ensure, to demand that our power system is better, to demand our water system is consistent, okay? And commit myself to the fishermen, not only of North Luther, because I would be representing them, but the wider Bahamas. You know, some of these fishermen, these Dominicans and others, they've already tore up, decimated their own waters.
Wow.
And now they come here to do ours.
Oh, yes.
That's not what we want to see happen. Our school system, several of our schools today don't have a principal or shorter teachers. We've got to do better. Huh? And then we wonder why we're running a D average. And then to add insult to injury, while we need migrant workers in this country, the number of ones that are there are way too much. And it's affecting us. It's affecting our school. It's affecting our healthcare. It's affecting us in so many ways. It has to be addressed. And to say, like the Prime Minister said, we don't have a crisis, his head is deep in the sand. Has to be. So, what do Ricky Mackey bring to the table? I've already outlined the many accomplishments that we've been able to do, and I wish only that we take them further. You know, a lot of those infrastructural things that we've already done, we don't have to do that now. Now we can concentrate on our people, making sure that their needs are met, that our young people are given an opportunity, and not like the current administration where persons are retiring, they're getting these lofty retirement packages, their gratuity, and then you're bringing them back as consultants. And then our young people The unemployment rate among young people is now the highest it's probably ever been in the country.
And that is concerning. That is concerning, especially when you spoke to the migrant crisis that we are having. So how is it that we have hundreds of migrants still coming in legally, and yet we have a shortage of jobs?
Exactly. So, Mr. Gibson, we, the people of North Eleuthera, deserve better. And through the grace of God, I believe we can bring better.
So we have 5 more minutes on the screen. We've done an hour, but I want you to talk to the people of North Eleuthera and tell them why they should support Ricky Mackey again. I know that they have heard your extensive resume, and it is extensive. And of course, I know a lot of them are interacting with you directly on a daily basis.
Yes.
I've seen you listen, even when you were a member of parliament, when I would travel on the ferry, I saw how you interact with your people. You are not a standoffish person. You connected with everybody. And I think because you're so personable, that is one of the things that caused a lot of people to gravitate towards you and want to support you. But I still want you to resell your message. Let me hear what is it that you tell people on a daily basis when you see them. How do you interact with them? What are the things that they say to you when they interact with Ricky Mackey?
Well, first of all, I live here. That's not going to change.
That's your first advantage, living here. So whatever pain they go through, you go through it. Whatever they feel, you feel it.
Their pain. You know, I move with them. I work with them. We often try to ease their burden. We are involved in our communities. We offer assistance. We offer scholarships. We reach out to persons in times of need, not because to point a camera at myself and say we're doing this, because I was taught by a family that much is given, so much is required. That's right. A person gave me a hand up. I came from humble beginnings, very, very humble beginnings. But God has blessed me through hard work, determination, and the assistance of others that I now am where I am. I'm comfortable. God has blessed me. And many persons, you know, I'm not here to brag about what I have or who I have, but I am here to brag about the blessings of God and what He's done for me. And I want that for others. Yes. I do not want to be an exception to the rule. I want to be the rule, that those around us be elevated. But first, we've got to get the infrastructure right. First, we've got to get the things that equip us right. The education. We've got to get our young people educated. And when they're educated, we've got to not let them look for jobs. That angers me. Let them look for career opportunities or business opportunities. Yes. That's what we need to do. And that's what I want to see. And that's what I offer. You know, I'm not looking here to give you a fish today. Yeah. I'm looking for us to partner to buy a fishing boat. Yes. This is how we would elevate ourselves. And this is how we will move forward. Together, but with a common purpose to better our constituency.
What other events do you have coming up where you'll be engaging your supporters and engaging persons who are interested in learning more about Ricky Mackey and being a part of Ricky Mackey's campaign?
What I do is I move around quietly. You don't see too much of the fanfare. I'm often being told, you need to get on social media, you need to do this, you need to do that. But I speak with persons. Yes. And those persons who have misconceptions of Ricky, then I have a conversation with them. They say, boy, listen, I with you. I have so many persons that have not supported me in the past who are walking up to me and say, Ricky, be with you. Be with you because we know you care about North Eleuthera. And we've seen your accomplishments. When I served as chairman of the regatta committee, it's the last successful regatta we've had in this year, and that's been well over 10 years. You know what made my heart warm? When a previous committee went down last year, I was talking to the sailors, and the sailors told them, saying, boy, listen, there are few people who could get us to move on a dime. Ricky Mack is one of them.
Wow.
And I say that to say this. Once we commit to something, we're going to make sure it happens. One of the things that I need to say, and I know we're wrapping up now.
No, go ahead. I got another question before I go.
In Harbor Island, there's something we need as great as this airport. We need a commercial dock in Harbor Island.
Okay.
Harbor Island is known as the Martha's Vineyard of the Caribbean. But when persons go to Harbor Island and see that dock, I am ashamed of it. I know some will say, well, once again, you were there. But I made efforts to ensure that we get a commercial dock. But that was done at the tail end of our term.
Yes,
and before I could see that to fruition, our term had ended. But I guarantee you, when elected, Harbor Island is going to get a commercial dock, and that current dock is going to be a welcome center, and it'll be proud for everyone who visits there.
That'll be awesome. That'll be awesome.
We are not a tuck shop. We are not a chicken in the bag operation. We are the creme de la creme, and we now need to see that happen.
Yes.
And we need to be treated like that. We put tens of millions of dollars in the treasury, but yet we are treated as outside children. My thing is, just give us what we require, and you won't have to worry about us, and you would see additional revenue coming into the treasury.
Okay. One more thing before we go, and I have to ask you about this. In South Eleuthera, the candidate for South Eleuthera is Miss Philippa Kelly, and Philippa Kelly has really taken on a great mission to try to bring what she believes would be the best possible representation to South Eleuthera, Central and South Eleuthera. And so, of course, I would like to know, I'm sure you guys communicate on a regular basis and collaborate. So, and of course, y'all do interact with each other. And, okay.
They are having a banquet
on November 15th at 6 p.m. in Governor's Harbor, Workers' House.
And we will have a large delegation that will be going down to support her. And whenever I can, I am prepared to go and assist. I think
she came down. Because as a matter of fact, 2 of the times when you had events going on, she personally, she brought me, because she would always call me and say, have somebody call me, and she would make arrangements and have me come down to see what's going on. And what I appreciated was the connection that you guys seem to have, and you guys seem to work well together. And so you guys are going to make this work with you all 2 campaigning as one to bring Eleuthera to the Free National Movement.
We will be able to strong. And my last time in Parliament, I had a twin.
Yes, sir.
And this time, when we go to Parliament, then I had a male twin. This time I'll have a female twin. But I assure you, she's doing well.
Yes, she is.
She's doing very well up there.
She's embarked on a good journey.
And trust me, the PLP are worried about her. Because that $160 million on roads, that's on roads. That's not on people.
Okay.
And the people still pay. And amazingly enough, all the money they spend on roads, you drove down there today, you have to navigate through North Eleuthera in order for you to get your vehicle back to South Eleuthera in one shape.
Yeah, in good condition.
In good condition. And so people up there feeling it. They feel the pain. They feel and the things that propped him up that he was taking credit for. I'm talking about the minister. Those things are stuff that he inherited. He inherited Disney because he might not get the credit, but Disney is there as a result of one Hank Johnson. I can tell you, I fought feverishly with him when persons in our party didn't want to see that happen.
Wow.
When remember now, there was 70,000+ persons voted against Disney.
I supported Disney. I supported. I was as a matter of fact, probably one of the first proponents to get on board with supporting Disney.
But Disney came on, and I don't know how it will relate going forward. But thus far, it's been a plus.
It has. It has.
And I can tell you, Hank Johnson to hell and high waters to ensure that that project came to fruition.
Awesome. So the Free National Movement has done their work. You're saying that what you're selling to me now is that the Free National Movement has a leg that they can stand on, or a record that they can stand on, that people can refer to say, you know what, this was done by the Free National Movement.
Absolutely. And not only that, the concerns that they've had in the past with reference to our previous administration, the Honorable Michael
Pintard,
Pintard,
the new leader, new vision.
they're not going to be an issue for them. They're new. This is a new vision. And I have the greatest amount of respect for Dr. Minnis for giving me an opportunity to serve.
Yes.
But democracy is about elections and about leadership changes. The change is now Michael Pintard. And mind you, I get it sometimes that he comes across as a college professor. And we've had that conversation, you know. But once you meet him and interact with him, you know he has this country at heart. And you know he's a bright and intelligent individual who's, if given the opportunity, will do well for this country. But we know what we have. And I talk to PLPs all the time, and they are not pleased. But you know how we go in the Bahamas in terms of our politics.
Yes.
Oh, that's my party.
Yeah.
That's my party. Some of them say, I'll hold my nose and still vote for it. But a party, pulling for a party or supporting a party is not like pulling for a basketball team. You could have the worst basketball team or softball team or baseball team in the world, and they could get beat from now till eternity. That does not take nothing off of you other than your ego. Yeah. But when you have a bad administration, that could destroy your country and it could debilitate you as an individual. We can't afford that. We've got a country to save. And this administration has shown all they want to do is tax you, all they want to do is travel, and all they want to do is party. And so the last thing I want to say, I hope when they carry our $55 million from North Eleuthera, that they have a party in Grand Bahama so some of them people in Grand Bahama could pop champagne like them.
Mr. Mackey, I want to thank you for giving TMI this audience with you. We appreciate you. We, of course, we have been following your campaign from start to finish, as a matter of fact, and we were one of the first persons you actually told what your intentions were, and we are watching and just following up and continuing to follow up. And we appreciate you getting out here and talking to your people. Not only that, a lot of people don't understand that taking on political roles, taking on political campaigns is not an easy thing. It is an expensive venture. Very. It is a tedious venture. Very. And it is a venture where you hardly get any rest because lots of people are always calling on you, pulling on you, tugging on you to help them. And so we admire you, we appreciate you, we encourage you to continue to press forward. We're going to do some other interviews as well with other persons. And of course, once we do that with them, we can also come back to you because we got to hear what you got to say.
And listen, I can speak from the heart.
Yes, sir.
So I ought to come back and think about something or have somebody tell me something.
Yes, sir.
You got questions to ask me, you ask
Yes,
me,
sir.
and I will answer them.
Yes, sir. You have any word for TMI now? Because,
Well, I appreciate you allowing me the opportunity to speak on your network. I love the work that you're doing.
Yes, sir.
Your operation is a positive one, unlike some of the many that
we don't
see out there where people are derogatory, disrespectful, and you really don't learn anything by it. And of course, some people can listen to it, so you think you're doing something good. It's just that some people like to hear garbage.
We like wholesome. I like giving wholesome information, and what you have done this evening has been a part of that mission to give wholesome information to the people, not just of North Eleuthera, but to South Eleuthera and to the entire Bahamas. We wish you the best of success. We thank you, and we look forward to seeing you again. Thank you, Mr. Mackey, and God bless you.